By the way, tonight, WMAL's Football Night in Washington. You can join Brian and Larry down at Gordon Biersch at 900 F Street Northwest. We're having a big Redskin viewing party down there at Gordon Biersch. Starts off at 7:30 as we face the New York Giants. You can come in, have some beer, have some food, rub elbows with Larry and Brian.
No, I don't rub elbows. You can rub your elbows. I don't.
My elbows will be available.
Elbows.
My elbows will be available for rubbing.
I'll shake hands.
All right.
That'll do.
And I'll do that too. And you said you would pose for selfies.
Lots of selfies.
Yeah. All right. So
not those Geraldo kind of selfies.
We hope that you will join us tonight. We'd love to see you. We really appreciate all of our listeners, and this is a chance for us to sit down and share some time together. Hope to see you there tonight. Now, speaking of said Redskins, it is time for our Redskins analyst, Trevor Matich, to weigh in on tonight's game. Hello, Trevor. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing this morning?
We're doing really good. Okay, so both of these teams, the Redskins and the Giants, they enter this fray with the same win-loss record, 1-2.
Yes, they do, and they're heading in. Seems like they're both trying to do something new. The Redskins doing something new at quarterback because of injury. The Giants doing something new with their offense because they're completely changing style, and they lost their first two games getting used to the new style. But they looked really sharp last week against Houston. So we'll see which team can do better with their new stuff.
And how do you feel about our Kirk Cousins' chances tonight? I mean, he most people think he had a pretty good outing last week, although they didn't win. How do you think he'll face off against the Giants' defense?
Well, I think that he started out hot the last couple of times. I mean, one game he completed his first 8 passes in a row. The next game he completed his first 12 in a row. But then things settled down as the defense adjusted to what he was doing. And what he'll need to do to get better in this game is adjust to the adjustments. What he's done so well, Kirk Cousins, is get the ball out of his hand immediately. I mean, it's drop, set, throw to a spot, and it's been magnificent. But what's happened is the games have worn on, is defenses have adjusted to that by jumping those routes, by bringing the secondary up closer to the line of scrimmage where those short passes are coming. And so what he'll need to do is wait just a little bit longer, just another beat in the pocket, to let receivers get open a little bit farther down the field before he throws that ball. That's the next thing Cousins needs to do. And the thing to watch for fans, because Cousins knows that, and he'll try it, but the thing to watch for in this game tonight is whether or not the offensive line can protect him for that extra beat to give him a chance to make that adjustment himself.
Let's talk about the Redskins' defense and their chances with the Giants' offense, Trevor. Because, one thing I like about watching the Giants lose, and I do like watching the Giants lose, is that when they cut over to Eli Manning, Eli has this little boo-boo face, his little pouty face, little sad Eli. I want to see a lot of sad Eli on my screen tonight, Trevor, because we've got a party, as you heard, down at Gordon Biersch, and as great as it is for the Redskins to win, watching Eli's little sad face on the sideline is even better.
Well, I'd love to be objective here, Larry, but I can't. Let me tell you how many ways I hate the Giants. I play for the Redskins and the Jets. And the Patriots, by the way, if you know Northeast football. So
you have every team that loathes the New York Giants, you have affiliated yourself with.
It has been ingrained into my genetic makeup to hate the Giants. So I agree with you there. I like that. And the thing about the Giants in terms of what they're able to do and how to make Eli pout like that is the Redskins need to do what the Giants will try to do to Kirk Cousins, which is to say come up and clog up the short passing lanes, because the Giants' new offense has changed in this way. It used to be that Eli would stand back in the pocket, wait forever while Victor Cruz and his other receivers run deep down the field, and then launch a bomb. Well, now it's quick West Coast passing. It's zip, 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 ball comes out short. And it took him a while to get used to the timing. But in order to get to Eli now, you've got to come up and take away those short passes, because it used to be a lot easier to hit Eli in the mouth, which is what you like, Larry. You want to hit Eli in the mouth.
I really do.
Well, when he's standing in the pocket, you have time to do it. Now that ball's going to come out of his hands, and so it's up to the secondary to make sure that there's nowhere for the ball to come out quickly.
It was a rough game last week and a lot of injuries. I mean, D'Angelo Hall, what a loss that is. And then Arakpos and a hard cast. How are the injuries going to impact the Redskins' play tonight?
Yeah, Brian, this might be the central storyline of the entire game. They've got 9 players listed as questionable, including Deshaun Jackson again with his shoulder, including 3 key defensive linemen, and that hurts depth. and that D-line. That makes a big difference because the Giants are pounding the ball with their running backs. And this is a short week. Now, it's a short week for the Giants as well, but the Redskins have a lot more of their key guys that are really hurt. And so there's a big question as to whether or not they'll be able to hold up for 4 quarters.
All right, and meanwhile, as this face-off happens in the Eastern Conference of the National Football Conference, Eastern Division of the National Football Conference, a lot of people are saying that for both teams, this is kind of a must-win. If either the Redskins or the Giants suffer a loss here, they're looking at a real uphill battle for the rest of the season. Is it that drastic already here in Game 4? Yeah,
it kind of is because it's a division game. Look at Philly at 3-0 and kind of running away with things. The loser of this game will be 1-3 and way behind the 8 ball. And so this is not a must-win from a standpoint of it being impossible to come back from. It just makes it so much more difficult. If the Redskins lose this game, they're already 0-2 in the division. And that's a hard thing to come back from. And considering that this Redskins team, there was so much hope for in the preseason, losing to Houston was terrible. It was the game they should have won. It was one of the worst teams in the league last year. If they lose to the Giants now, which is also a team that's not very good right now, I mean, they're improving on offense, but overall it's not very good. If they lose to this team, a team they should beat, then it makes the future look pretty bleak.
All right, I want to play this little clip from Kirk Cousins recently. Here's what Kirk Cousins had to say.
When I say that, this is Robert's team, I don't mean that I can't step in and have an authority and make sure we move the football, but I won't change my statement that, this is Robert's team. I still stand by that. I think that he was drafted high for a reason.
All right, so here's my question.
You're stirring this up.
Listen, these quarterbacks today have got to be pretty politically savvy. They've got to be media smart. Was that the right thing for Kirk Cousins to say, and do you believe he really believes it?
He was lying through his teeth. He wants this job. He wants to take this job. But he knows that part of his job is to make sure he doesn't create off-field drama. And so it was exactly the right thing to say.
Yep.
Even though I can't believe for a minute that he actually wants that or believes that. And that's another reason why I think Kirk Cousins, whether it's here or somewhere else, will be a good quarterback because he gets it. He just gets it. And by the way, I don't mind when NFL players or coaches lie boldly to the face of the media and the public. That's part of what you need to do.
All right. By the way, Trevor, the record should reflect that Brian Wilson is sporting his number 8 Redskins Kirk Cousins jersey today.
A little anecdote. When I went down to buy this yesterday, there weren't many of them left, and they had gone through like 3 or 4 shipments and were waiting on another.
Oh, the turncoats in this. I'm sorry. I stand
are
by
hot property right here.
I stand by RG3.
All right, listen. Thank you, Trevor. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and
we could call you from Gordon Biersch tonight while we're having our party.
He's going to be busy.
Yeah, right. You gotta do the coda at the end of the fight song. Are we going to sing this a cappella tonight after all of the?
Maybe.
I want to see Eli's boo-boo face.